Good morning, traders. It's about 20 after 9, 17th of January 2019. See with marketwizards.com and eminywizard.com doing a quick update for those who are here and for those who are on appointments or working a part-time job and trying to learn this system. So we'll do a few videos again today to help those traders. Reminder to use risk capital you can afford to lose. Markets can turn on a dime, and overnight we certainly witness that. So protect yourself at all times. No one else has skin in your game. You're the one who is responsible for your account, and please trade responsibly. We're going to take a look at a couple of charts, which we've already posted in the room and talked about some ideas. Let's take a look first at where we left off. This would be yesterday's range. We had said at the time, very important idea, this 07, 02 support, but first you've got to get past the 11s, right? We talked about that yesterday, very, very important. If you got back, end of the day, we said, be very careful into the 20s that we're approaching a high value target. We don't have to hit it. We don't have to stop at it. We can go buy it even. But as we approach that 26, 30 to 32, we said, let's be mindful of that, and aggressive resistance 28 to 32. And then we get the sharp downdraft into the close. And I had posted, okay, I'm going to use this resistance right here as our key resistance, 20 to 21 area right there. And so I said, so I'm going to use 16 as the aggressive. You gotta hold this to come down. That would give the best odds, and it did. So once you get your first idea correct, then you're looking for obvious locations within that prior day's range. You still have to get to that 04 and break the 2.5. So overnight, I had posted where the potential targets were, and I said, I don't think we're going to break this 98, 96 area, and make sure you're paid. And I said the next visible support is 92. Okay, so I want to go back and let's quickly take a review of those ideas and see that we bounced in. We said pre-market that the first objective for the longs would be to try to get back to the 09 zone, right? I said, because yesterday we had said coming back this way, you got to get by that 09 area, and we said why. We talked about the GCF and why this would be an important area. So today, using this chart, we've already said make sure you paid by the 9 to 11 area, and that's why I've got this blue box right here. So basis this chart, this is our intraday range, and right now it's range type trading. Got a gap at 4.5, got another one back here in that 13.5, and we're going to look at a couple of charts that make sense. So this is the first and primary chart I wanted to look at today. Let's take a look at another one. Okay, so here's the question I had posed to you in the room. I said, so tell me what the 40 and 50 and 60 backs are. And the easiest way to do that is on a spreadsheet or use the widget and contain the high from yesterday with the low from overnight. And now you've got your 2-day range. And so this gives us this target zone already of this 08 to the 11s. And that's why we said that 9 to 11 should be an area of first resistance. Make sure you're paid if you're going in that direction. We also said that probably aggressively this morning, 99 support. And I was using the chart that we just looked at, plus this 2,600 and a quarter, the 2-day first box level as support. We said, let's think of that as our rotation. And that's going to put this gap area at 4.5. That's probably a magnet right now. And I said, we've got a magnet in this 4.5 to 3.25 range. All right. So this is the simplest way I can visibly show you the ideas where these little rotations are coming from inside the bigger rotations. That very, very important concept. And we'll talk about that again today before we're done. And as you know, Zeke came in the room and was posting almost identically to the things that I was posting. And you can tell that he and I have traded together for a while and understand the system fairly well and know what we're looking for. So this is our weekly chart right now. And we were here yesterday. We said, careful, we got to break the 11s first, right? And then we've got to come back in and we've got to take out this next level. This is our middle, right? So got to get paid here. That's why it said paid for sure. It's 98, 97. You don't want to get the last tick. That's the hardest thing in the world to do. You want to make sure that you're out just ahead of it, and then the odds will change and reverse to go backwards. So this is the easiest way to see that idea of that 11.5 target, because it's the middle of these 4 boxes. So this is the current range right now that we're trying to resolve. And I also noted to you that this was last week's high. And as such, this is something that the shorts have to penetrate and keep the price under to come back and do any more. And if so, the next support ideas right here. We said 92 is the next visible support. This is a 30-minute chart. So that 95 to 92 is the next support area. And you can see on a 30, a bigger chart, why this 92 has a little more power than the 95 as the next visible support. So I'm trying to show you the posts that I made. I'm trying to show you what I'm thinking and how I'm thinking. And our goal is to help you guys trade without us. So you don't need to be dependent on me or Zeke or anybody else. I'm trying to teach you the concepts, not just making calls here. 30-minute chart. Globex, we can see where the support is going to come in back down here. That's the next level of support. So I said 92.75 is available as the next support. And first things first, we've got to go through some backing and filling. And then if we get another push down, then these would be the targets if we break the low that we'd be looking for. All right, we've got the open. And anybody who is trading right now, we're still in the idea of this box right now trying to be resolved. There's 04 to say 9 to 11. Call it 10 if you want, in between. And we have to acknowledge where we are on the RTH chart. We're right at the rain line. This is our overnight range. This is that low that we've been talking about in here, 92.75, theoretical support next. Got to break the lows first. And I think that we're ahead of ourselves a little bit on the short side, so we should get a little bounce and then run into resistance. So that's what I'm expecting. And my expectation is we can trade this blue box today. Don't have to take out the high or the low. But if we take out the high, we're still going to run into resistance on this chart. And I'm not looking for the killer day today, south side. But if we get it, we've got to first take out the 92s. And then the scene of the crime becomes available as the next potential support. And that you can clearly see on any number of charts, including our predictive model. Okay, and this is where we've concentrated, and this is on the daily, this is where we've concentrated the energy overnight. So in a 3-box system right now, these are the 3 boxes that are our primary immediate concern. And if you take a look at the weekly, we can see that very clearly. This 97 to 98 area that I said, make sure you are paid. All right. This is the box that I've been looking at as the fighting box. And then up here would be our next resistance box. So for now, got pretty high odds that we're going to trade inside this blue circle a while before anything else goes on. Here's our angels and demons. Anybody gets to the 9, to the 11, 11 and a half, stops up. And this is the best way I know to help show you, is to have the market actually moving as we talk about these concepts. So you don't have to wait and read a book and then go to a chart and 3 weeks later try to figure it out. I already talked about this potential target right there. Guys, it's as simple as that, and you need 4 or 5 points a day per contract. And once you figure that out, then you can scale up and use more contracts. You don't have to get any fancier. You find a few ideas that work. Half-gap traders, in my opinion, should be getting paid coming into the 10 area to 12 and a half. Brian, nice post you made earlier today when you said that you had noticed the rotations were making basically whack-a-mole, higher highs, higher lows. And you'd identified those rotations. Great job. I've got the demon today at 15, and we're shaking out the aggressive shorts who got in too late, who missed this yesterday and said, okay, let's just go south side. We said if we're above 02, market is bouncing, correct? And the reason for that is because that's yesterday's low. I'm trying to tie up all those notes that I post in there for you, and I'll do it on a video so those of you who want to review it can start to understand how we put these pieces of the puzzle together. And we should get a 2-way day today. Zeke has posted 975 half gap. Thank you, Zeke. And I believe that options expiration has created this overnight pullback, much needed, but inconclusive, as I said, about any plunge. Bingo. Now, I'm suggesting make sure you pay it ahead of the gap. And this looks like a program trade right here, straight up. All right, I'm going to end. I've got this on video, and I'm going to end. I don't like them to be too long. I know they get boring and whatever, but you know, this is one of the best ways I know to teach, and especially for those who cannot, you know, be here. Some of you guys are in different time zones in California and whatever, and I know it gets harder. for you to stay awake. All right, this is a great opening round for anybody that's playing for the gap. And this 04, we'd said there's a magnet back in here that at 4.5 to 3.25. Now I'm considering that anytime you pull back into it from above, then you have to be able to respect that. And if it holds, then you already know that they're defending that magnet. So range type trading is what I'm seeing right now. And anybody who's played for the gap, congrats. Stops up. One last chart. Put into your mind right here. Okay, we say that, okay, we're at rain, but we're going to be running into these moving averages coming down at us. That's why I want you to be conservative, because this was a breakdown area yesterday. So these traders cannot get rescued just yet if the market wants to mess around with them, because that's where we broke. Retest failure right there.